Fumi Ajayi, we're ready for you. Hi Fumi, how are you?
I'm good.
My name's Kayosan, I'm the HR manager, and these are my colleagues.
Hi, I'm Kayosan, sales manager.
Hi, I'm Vyshaki, quality supervisor.
Good to meet
Okay,
you.
have a seat.
Thank you.
Did you find it easy to get here? No, there's some heavy traffic.
It was quite easier for me. My brother helped me out.
Okay, perfect. So as you know, you're being interviewed for the customer service representative at Scotiabank. So some of the questions that we will be asking will be behavioral and some will be situational.
Okay.
So I will be asking the majority of the questions, and we will be recording your answers. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So I ask, like I said, I ask the majority of the questions, and then they will additionally add some at the end.
Okay. Thank you.
So let's begin. So tell me about yourself and me.
My name is Fumi Ajayi. I've been into this customer service job for like 5 years, and I have basically 2 years of HR experience. And that's a few things about me.
Okay, perfect. And can you kind of expand on the HR experience that you do have, like in what aspect of HR?
I think the little experience I have with HR was after my first degree. I took a course in HR for like 1 year. It was more like a graduate certificate program.
Okay.
And then I was able to acquire 8 months experience in HR, and I've been able to practice for like just 1 year as an administrator in a bank.
That's really good. Perfect.
I'm sorry, you said with the bank, HR administrator with the bank?
Yes.
Okay, nice.
So that leads me to my second question, which is, what are your strongest skills that you think that would benefit the company?
I basically think my strongest skill is teamwork and problem solving. I like to get things done. I like to solve people's problems. I like to work in group with people and get things done. So basically, those are 2 of my strongest skills.
Perfect. Do you have a weakness?
I can basically say my weakness sometimes is my typing. I'm a little bit slow with that, but I've been taking some programs and then some practices with a particular company in order to improve my skills in typing.
That's good. And how do you think that you've developed over the past few years?
Developing customer service job or just generally?
Generally, and then let's look at it in terms of customer service as well.
Okay, in terms of customer service, I think I've been able to develop myself. I took a program in 2014 about customer service representative skills, just to learn more and then increase my skills. And then my company, the former company I work with, were able to take me through a training course on customer service relationship for just 2 weeks.
Okay, that's good for me. And so what type of supervision brings out the best in you? Or what type of supervision do you believe brings out the best in you? So are you more hands-on? Do you like a more top-down approach in which, people are giving you direct orders and then you do the task, etc.?
I think I like to get things done, as I've said, and due to that, I sometimes like to use my discretion. If I feel this is what I'm supposed to do based on my job descriptions and responsibility, I think I'll get it done. If it's something I'm having a little bit complications or issue with, I think I can forward that to my leader or my supervisor, or that's all I can say.
Perfect. So Kayosan is also going to ask you a few more questions, so I'll just hand it over to her as well.
Okay. All right, so as a customer service representative, the job will require you to spend a lot of time talking to others. Have you had working experience in this kind of a job before? Of course, because you said that earlier. So tell me a little about that and what you liked about that experience.
I think the little time I've spent in customer service job was awesome. I was able to do that for almost 2 years. At that time, I was managing about 80 customers per day. And then I have a target to meet even with that kind of job, and it was quite interesting for me. I think customer service job was one of the experiences I've had that was really awesome for me. And then due to the way I handle my job, because the pressure from customers, like sometimes you can have about 3-4 customers at a time, and then we need to get things done at that point in time. I was working with a partner who was more vibrant like me, and then we were able to get things done.
Interesting. All right, so also tell me about a time when you were working on something, when paying attention to the small details was crucial.
I think that would be the time where my manager gave us a target at the branch, and then we were supposed to meet up like about a particular amount of money in a month, and then we had to like start calling some customers, get to know the reason why they've not been showing up at our company, and then that time it was actually more challenging because customers feel like there's no point we calling to check on them, why they've not been coming, so we have to be a little bit tactic about it. So I think that's the only challenges we have. I don't know. I really don't.
Okay, no, that's okay. But what were some of the specific things that you did, which, how ways in which you used where you could have, gotten through to the customers to find out from them a little more, what's happening, why is it that they weren't coming based on, what you shared just now, why they weren't coming back?
Okay, I think that time some of them, they are not usually around. Some were out of the country, some were around, and then we usually come, especially festive periods, some of them do move out of the country, some are usually around. So we kind of try to like call and check why they've not been coming. So it was good. Some of them find it so interesting, it was so beautiful for them, like how can a company call them to check on them about why they've not been coming. And then because of that, we're even able to improve our sales. They feel the commitment of the company towards them was quite good. We actually improved the sales for that month for me.
Oh, interesting. And you mentioned that you had targets. What were your targets like, and how did you always meet those targets, or you found it challenging with meeting your targets?
I can say it was a little bit challenging. My target that time was monthly, and then we actually, basically about meeting the challenges that time was because we have a target, a particular target for the month, and then we're sometimes close to the target. It could be a few dollars or amount of money to get close to the basic amount I'm supposed to meet for the month, and then we need to we might have about 2-3 days to the deadline, and thereby we need to call and then try to meet up for the day. So I think we only try to just do our best and meet up because it's
Okay. So tell me about a time when you had to work closely with someone you found difficult to get along with. How did you handle it, and what was the outcome?
I think that a time that came to my mind just now was when I was promoted a little bit because I was able to meet my targets consecutively for a year and then 6 months. And then my manager got me promoted to supervise a particular branch. And then I was asked to work with a lady who wouldn't do a part of the job, who wouldn't want to do anything, and I have to push her to get things done. So it was quite stressful for me. Sometimes you have to do our own part of the job just to make sure we don't mess up things. So it was a little bit challenging for me. As much as I like to work with teams, like to work with the group, but she actually gave me much problem because she couldn't do her own part of the job.
Oh, okay. And what was the outcome of that eventually?
It was supposed to be a negative outcome, but because of my personal skills of getting things done, I was able to fill that gap immediately. I wouldn't wait for her to do her part. I wouldn't mind to do what she's supposed to do just to make sure that we fill the gap at that point in time and satisfy our customers. So.
You're coming down nicely. Right. So problem solving is more than having a good plan. It will also require taking action. Give me an example of a time when you were able to take meaningful action in solving a problem.
Okay, I think good. I'll keep giving an example of the time I worked where we misplaced a customer's jacket. I've worked with a dry cleaning company before as a branch manager, and then a customer's jacket was misplaced. And the step I took that time was to go back to our head office. I have to commit the job I was supposed to do that day to a partner, then drive all the way back to the branch to make sure that I resolve the problem at that point in time. My manager was even like, "Why are you here? You're supposed to be in your branch." But I'm like, "No, this customer kept coming and we need to really find something to do because his jacket was missing for almost 3 days." And we're like, "I'm traveling back, I need to get it done, I need to get it done." So I have to go back to the branch and then sort it out. And it was a mistake from the quality control people. They had to they swap his own jacket with another customer's jacket and also. But my presence at the head office that time was able to, sift them and then make them work quickly on the customer's problem.
Oh,
So,
okay, great. So they were able to sort
Yeah,
out
we were able
and
to.
got back his jacket?
yeah, we were able to. It was even actually there at the head office. It was with them, but they couldn't just, get to know which one is for the customer. It was a mix up. So.
Oh, interesting. All right. So I'll now hand over to Vyshaki. Who will just ask a few more questions. You're doing good thus far.
Thank you.
So, I want to know what kind of work environment brings the best in you? Is it structured or non-structured, or do you prefer a team or an independent environment?
I think both can work for me. It all depends on the structure of the organization itself. If it's a formal kind of organization, I don't really care about the complexity. I think it's just about me getting to know my roles, what I'm supposed to do, what position I'm going to fill. So it really doesn't matter what kind of structure the organization is. As long as I can get to know the values and the culture of the organization, I think I can cope.
But you do mention before that you have worked as a team. So does that have a better advantage over, a stricter, structured environment? Do you think that you can bring out better if it's in a teamwork environment?
Oh yeah, I think working as a team is interesting. It's quite very interesting, provided the people you're working with are committed to the job and they get to understand what they are supposed to do. I think working as a team will surely bring out the best results once we can all cooperate and achieve the same goal. But as I've said earlier, if my partner is not doing her own part, I still need to fill the gap before I lodge a complaint to the management. I need to do what I'm supposed to do at that point in time just to fill the gap and satisfy the client. So.
Tell me about a time when you have gone above and beyond the call of duty to accomplish a significant objective. What did you specifically do and what was the impact?
Above the line of duty, a good example was where usually I close by 6 p.m. But I think a particular customer called me and were like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, tomorrow is Christmas. I need to pick up my stuff with you guys." I'm like, "Mama, we've closed for the day." And she said, "No, please just wait for me." I think I've sacrificed more hours for my customers, and it's something I have pleasure in doing, because I know it's not going to be forever, it's just for that point in time. So I think I've gone through my line of duty for that. Even though I have a place to go that day, I have some urgent things to attend to, but I was still able to wait and then satisfy the client at that point in time. So.
That's really good. That's really good. Thank you so much.
Right. But do you have any questions for us?
I don't really think I have, because I've gone through the job description already. I just need to know what my responsibilities and what. I think I've seen all those already. So.
Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for coming out today.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
We're still interviewing other candidates,
Okay.
but the decision that we make after reviewing all the candidates,
Okay.
we will email you back within 2 weeks to give you a reply via email.
That's
So just
fine.
look out for our email.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you again, Fumi, for
Oh,
coming. It
it's my
was nice
pleasure.
meeting you.
Thank you very
No
much.
worries.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thanks for coming.
It's my
You're
pleasure.
welcome. Have a nice day.
You too.
Bye.